Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to Third Wave Trades. Today's video we're going to be going over super microcomputers, ticker symbol SMCI, another stock that I think is getting ready to go on a massive rally soon. Right now you guys can see we're trading at 47.91, Friday's closing price, um, and that's obviously post split. But I think it's getting ready to go on a third wave move, so I wanted to bring it to your guys' attention. Um, but before we get started, guys, quick disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research, and/or consult with a financial advisor before making any trading or investment decisions. Secondly, guys, if you could, please do me a huge favor: hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys want more analysis like this, and hit the bell notification icon if you guys want to get all of my video updates as soon as they come out. Thirdly, guys, as you guys saw from the intro, our Discord is out. We started it back in January. Our community is growing pretty fast. So if you guys like the analysis that you're seeing here, you guys want to get it on a more consistent daily basis. We do everything from swing trades with analysis just like this to daily trade alerts on all the big stocks, as well as what we think are going to be um, you know future great picks. So come check us out. There's a free 2-week trial right now if you guys join. If it's not for you, you guys can cancel anytime during the free trial and you guys won't be charged. So just come check us out. But all right, with all that being said, let's get into the video. So as you guys can see over here, I have this trend line drawn up, and this is on a regular scale. It's not a logarithmic scale. Just to show you guys that we are basically we're testing this trend, right? You guys can see. Let me zoom in a little bit over here for you guys. All right, so we're testing this trend. We have a couple of different touch points over here, and right now we're testing it for the fourth time, and we'll see if we can break above this. If not, we could always come back in here and consolidate a little bit more before we go higher, right? But if we do get that break, I expect a pretty decent run, right? And obviously one of the forms of analysis that I like to rely on the most is Elliott Wave and Wyckoff. From a Wyckoff perspective, this like little accumulation range, it seems pretty fast, right? But if something is a strong mover, then big money institutions aren't going to um, you know let this they really essentially don't need to let it accumulate that much. They want to get in as soon as possible and let this thing fly. You guys can see from over here, low volume all throughout here. This is on a daily chart, and as we're consolidating here, but now you guys can see the volume is starting to pick up as we are coming towards the top of that descending trend line. So from an accumulation standpoint, it just looks like it's ready to run right now. It doesn't look like it needs that much more accumulation, but of course it could accumulate a little bit more, right? We could come back down, get another spring move over here or something like that. Definitely still possible. But so I won't be relying too much on Wyckoff over here. If we go to the weekly time frame to get another sort of like bigger picture of what's happening here, you guys can see the volume is really strong, right? So back here where this volume started to pick up, you guys see we made massive gains, right? And then volume kind of started petering out, and then it kind of stayed pretty low as we were doing this pullback or this correction. And again, like right here in this little range, volume is pretty low again, but now you guys can see from the last 2 weeks, volume is starting to pick up again, right? So this next week will be pretty telling to see how it reacts, right? Can we break out of this descending trend? Can we continue to get strong volume here? Or is this going to be more of an upthrust move, kind of like a fake out, come back in the channel, and then we continue accumulating for a little bit, right? So you don't want to pull the trigger too early. I just want to bring it to your radar to keep an eye on this one, because it could rip right here, right? There's no reason why it needs to come back down, especially if the volume is picking back up when we start to get that breakout. Now from a wave count, from an Elliott wave standpoint, you guys can see over here, this was the top of our larger degree first wave, right? You got your 5 wave move here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have this correction, which you guys can see basically came lower than our 78.6%, but we didn't break um, our origin point. So this is a good place for a retracement, right? And you guys can see that the correction happened, like I said, with low volume, and now the volume is starting to pick up again. So the way that I have this pictured right now is that we completed our large degree second wave, and we started our first wave in the intermediate count, and got our second wave retracement, and now we're getting ready for this third wave move. Now it doesn't have to be you know necessarily a third wave move like this that breaks the all-time highs, right? But we are in this larger degree third wave move, but this could end up just being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to form the first of our third, and then we come back for a second, and then we go higher, right? So still, I think it's going to make a pretty strong run over here. If we use our fib extension tool, right, using this wave, let me just hide this. So if we use this first wave as our for our extension tool, we can see that the 1.618 comes to around $78, around $80 basically, we'll say. So I think that that's a very reasonable price target, especially if we could break above like these highs over here, right? The resistance that's over here. If we could break and hold above that again with strong volume, I think that's basically where we are heading, around that $75 to $80 range. And again, that could end up being our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That forms the first of our third. Then we get another pullback to get the second of our third, and then this is where you want to go for a really long swing trade somewhere around this setup, because that's where you're gonna get that third of third, right? In the larger time frame. If we zoom into a slightly closer time frame, like we go to the 3 hours, this is what the count looks like. How I see it right now from a in a more micro structure, right? We had this first wave that I was talking about. This was our ABC correction. All right, so you have your A wave, your B wave made up of a triangle, and then your C wave. And again, if we were to use our fib extension tool, you guys can see we came right between the 61.8 and the 78.6% retracement. So that looks great there. And then we are starting this third wave move. So for day trading, and I think for shorter swings, like if you wanted to buy weekly calls or something like that, I think that this could be a great play. Not so much for the longer swing just yet, like like if you wanted to buy leaps or buy shares, but definitely for a 1 to 2 week swing trade, I think this could be a really strong move, because then we would be getting this third wave move here in the orange, right? So this is 1, 2, and then this could be our massive third wave move in the micro structure, right? So again, that could see us go to like that $70 to $80 range in the next 2 weeks, I think. But again, that's for a more immediate time frame. For the bigger picture, we would want to see this whole 5 wave sequence play out, wait for that retracement, and then go along over here, right? Wherever this comes back. So if you guys wanted extra confirmation, then you guys can see we basically have this inverse head and shoulder, right? We have this inverse head and shoulder forming, right? So we have this inverse head and shoulders, and if we were to use the fib extension on this, right, you want kind of like a one-to-one extension from the length of the head of the head and shoulders to the neckline, right? And that kind of also shows you this $85, $86 target. So there's a lot of things that are looking good for this um, in the immediate term, and I do think that this is something that is going to go higher um, in the much longer term as well. But there's one thing that I'm waiting for that, and that's basically the completion of the stage two breakout. So let me just show you guys what that looks like. So if we go back on the weekly, you guys know that one of the things that I really like to use for my larger swing trades is that break of out of the stage one base into a stage two um, uptrend or a stage two rally, right? As per stage analysis by Stan Weinstein. So you guys can see over here the yellow line that I have is the 30-week simple moving average. Over here is kind of like where our stage one base is forming, and you guys can see we're pretty much breaking above it, right? From last week, we got this nice strong volume bar, um, strong price action bar with strong volume, right? So that's two of the three things that check out for me. The only thing that's sort of missing is this break above the zero line in the Mansfield Relative Strength Index, which I do think is coming, right? But I don't like to anticipate it. I like to see it actually happen. So for a larger swing trade, what I would like to see is again that strong move up, which the wave count is showing us that we might get, right? With continued volume on the weekly time frame and that break, and then come back for a retest above that 30-week moving average. And as that starts to curl up, and now we come back to break that high that we just made, that's where I would want to go for a larger swing trade, right? You could get in over here on that retest, right, and then use the 30-week moving average as your stop loss. A safer entry, right, but a more expensive entry would be once we come back and break that high, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Like I said, in the immediate term, I do anticipate us getting this push up in the smaller time frames to get this 5 wave move, and then I think we'll get that pullback, and that's when I'll be looking for a larger swing trade. But I do think in the next 1 to 2 weeks we will see a push higher to around that $75 to $80 area. Um, I could be wrong, but I'm seeing all the signs for it, so it's definitely something that I will be interested in, and something that I will be sharing with my community as well as a possible trade. Um, but uh, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It looks good for a nice rally soon. Trying to think if there's anything that I'm leaving out, but I don't think that there really is. Um, Again, you guys can see that inverse head and shoulder forming, strong price action, strong volume. Uh, Wave count looks like we are going to get this third wave move. So yeah, I'm gonna be looking for a nice push in the next couple of weeks. Try to trade that, and then on the pullback for this 30-week above this 30-week moving average, that's probably where I'll be looking to get into a larger swing play, right? And that's where I think we will start to begin the rally to take out all-time highs, and that could be like a year from now, by the time we get there. But I do think we will eventually come back to take out those all-time highs. So from an investment standpoint, if you guys were long-term investors, I think this is a great price to get in around that $47 area, $45 $47 area. And again, you guys could always use your stop loss as that 30-week moving average. If we were to break below that, that could be your stop loss. But it's a great entry because it's so close, right? Um, so if you guys want to be in this play for a much longer time period, if you're not traders, if you're investors, I think this is a great entry. Um, like I said, with that 30-week as your stop loss, right? Because then, and Stan Weinstein talks about this. This is actually where investors want to get in on that initial break of the 30-week moving average. Traders want to kind of wait for that pullback and that bounce off the 30-week moving average, where they can play that stage two rally. Um, And yeah, I think that's it. Not much more else to share about that, but if you guys found the video useful, helpful in any way, please do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification icon to get all my updates. Come check us out on the Discord, free 2-week trial. If you guys join now, again, you'll get day trade live alerts, and you will get analysis just like this on a bunch of stocks that we think are going to present great swing opportunities, 1 to 2 week swings, larger 3 to 5 month swings, as well as investment opportunities, right? So you guys get a little bit of everything. Come join us, come check us out. I'll be back with more. Peace.